Welcome to step 1 of making a top-down adventure game in PICO-8. In this step, we'll make the map for our game and get it showing on the screen. Before we do anything, we need to save our game. After starting PICO-8, type saveadventuregame.png and hit enter. You can name it whatever you want .png. I'm just calling mine adventure game. And don't worry about the warning it gives you. We'll fix it later. After it's saved, hit escape to begin. The first step will happen in the sprite editor, where we'll make the map tiles that make up our game's map. Sprites are the individual pieces of art used in a game, so each map tile is a sprite. You should make whatever kind of map tiles you want for this tutorial, but I'm going to make 3 kinds of tiles right now just so we have enough variety to play with when making our map. Again, I strongly suggest you make your own map tiles. It can be a lot of fun, and remember, it's your adventure game. First, I'll make some grass tiles. One will be plain grass, then some fancy grass, and then one with a rock in it that will block players from moving. Next, I'll make some water tiles. First will be plain water, then fancy water, and then a rock in the water. The player won't be able to move onto any of these water tiles, but the rock in the water just looks cool. Finally, I'll make some castle tiles so we have buildings. First, I'll just make a floor tile, then maybe some gravelly stone ground, and then finally a wall. Now that I have some sprites to work with, let's actually draw a map. The screen can hold 16 tiles across and 16 tiles down, so let's make a map that's 32 tiles across and 16 down. That will give us 2 full screens of map to work with to start off our game. Notice you can hold down space to drag the map around. You can also zoom in and out with the mouse wheel or angle bracket keys. You'll also notice that in the bottom left corner you can see the map coordinate of the map tile your mouse is over. Now that we have a map, I want to go back to the sprite editor to talk about something. Do you see these 8 little on-off buttons here? These are called sprite flags. They're numbered 0 through 7. When I move my mouse over each one, you can see in the bottom left corner which number it has. All by themselves, these sprite flags mean nothing. We can turn them on or off and it doesn't really matter. But we can use code in our game to decide what to do if they're on or off. For example, in our game, we're going to use sprite flag 0, the first one, to decide if a map tile is a wall or not. Not literally a wall, but just some place the player can't walk. Then in our code, before we move a player onto a map tile, we can look at sprite flag 0 and see if it's on or off. If it's on, we can stop the player from moving there. It's important to remember that these sprite flags don't do anything by themselves. Our code does that. So for this game, for any sprites that are, quote, walls, we'll turn on sprite flag 0, the first one. With the tiles I made, that means the rock, all the water tiles, and the actual wall tile. Now let's write some code to show our map on the screen when we run the game. There isn't a lot of code, but I'll explain what each thing is as I write it. First, we need 3 special functions called the game loop. This is the heart and soul of how a game runs. This function, init, runs 1 time at the beginning of our game. This function, update, runs again and again every 30th of a second until the player quits the game. This function, draw, also runs again and again every 30th of a second, but it runs after the update function. So first it runs init, then it runs update, draw, update, draw, update, draw, again and again until the game ends. Again, this is called the game loop. Now let's make a second code tab where we'll put anything related to our map. At the top, we'll put a comment called map code, so we know what this tab has in it. Now we need a function to set up our map. To start off, we just need to know which sprite flags mean what, so that's all this function will do for now. Wall will be 0, key will be 1, door will be 2, nm1 3, nm2 4, lose 6, win 7. You'll notice we skipped number 5. No special reason, I just wanted those lose and win flags to be at the end. Maybe later you can come up with something to do with sprite flag number 5. Now we need a function that draws the map to the screen. This function uses the built-in PICO-8 map function. This function takes 6 pieces of information. The first 2 numbers are the x and y horizontal and vertical coordinates of the first map tile we want to draw. Since we want to draw the whole map, we're going to start from map tile 0, 0. That's the map tile in the top left corner of the map. The next two numbers are the X and Y, horizontal and vertical, screen coordinates of where we want to draw the map. So this tells PICO-8 where on the screen to start drawing the map. Screen coordinate 0, 0 is in the top left corner of the screen. The last two numbers tell PICO-8 how many map tiles across we want to draw and how many map tiles down we want to draw. Since we want to draw the whole map, we'll tell it to draw 128 map tiles across, that's 8 screens wide, and 64 map tiles down, that's 4 map screens tall. Since the screen can only show 16 map tiles across and 16 map tiles down, then of course the map we're drawing will extend beyond the edge of the screen, but that's okay for now. Now that we have the map code done, we need to go back to our game loop and tell our game loop to use those new functions we wrote. In init, we'll tell it to run the map setup function. Then in the draw function, we'll tell it to clear the screen with the PICO-8 function CLS. We clear the screen so that we get rid of whatever was there before and start drawing fresh. And then we'll tell it to run our draw map function. So what will happen is that when the game loop runs, it will run map setup once, and then draw map will happen again and again every 30th of a second. Let's save it with Control S and then run it with Control R. And there it is. It's drawing our map again and again every 30th of a second. In the next step, we'll add a player to our game.